Ultra Squad, man. It's an interesting title, man. I don't know too many girls gonna watch it, but you should. I know for a lot of girls, this can really make or break relationships, man, because of the insecurities they feel, self-doubt, like, am I not enough, type stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you dealt with that with your girl before, I've dealt with it before, had experiences like that, man. And we just finna get into it, man, like how porn is destroying sex for young men, man. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have any experiences like this or just regular comment, man. Subscribe. Let's get it.
Talk about porn addiction, because some people in the comment section are very ecstatic about talking about porn addiction. I wonder why. But so
were they orgasmic about talking about it?
Yeah, well, they were on a different website and they just jumped on this, and that different website we'll talk about here in a minute. More than 90% of young men report watching porn videos with some regularity, particularly in the United States. Apparently, U.S. kids like porn more than other states. Many of these videos depict acts that might never engage in themselves. In other words, erotic fantasies. On Pornhub, the world's largest porn website alone, well over 90 billion videos are viewed daily by more than 64 million visitors. Apparently 90 billion with only 7 billion people living here. Apparently aliens are watching this. I don't know what's going on with that number.
You know what's crazy about that? I don't even think that's the best site. You know what I'm saying? If you watch it on the regular, you know what I'm saying, you find stuff I ain't gonna cap, you know what I'm saying? It's other stuff way better than that site. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's so popular because like that's the average human being thing. You know, like a person who an average sports fan, you know what I'm saying? They don't know too much about sport, but they'll watch it because like just to watch it, or like it's cool, it's flashy, they like it, but they don't know too much about it. That's what Pornhub is basically, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know about it.
26% of them are women, females. Although viewing erotica is nearly ubiquitous among males, some men and women regard watching internet porn as pathological and believe that at some time spent doing so may be a sign of porn addiction, although such a diagnosis is rejected by many psychologists and our treatment approaches based on addiction models. So it continues to talk about all these other things on why it's good and why it's bad. What are your thoughts on porn addiction? Have you done any kind of research on that? Or
I did research this. There's an amazing young guy.
Now, what is research? Does research mean you sit there for weeks watching porn? What does research mean? Because if that's the case, many have done research.
Yeah, I'm actually a leading expert on the subject.
Can you imagine your profile says, porn addiction expert, researcher?
You guys should have on this fantastic guy called Alexander Rhodes, who was part of my research. We did not masturbate together, I want to stress. He's in Pittsburgh. He runs a site called NoFap, which is... NoFap, yeah. That he became obsessed with porn. So, there's a few things we're thinking about in relation to porn. It's a bit like video games. I'm not anti-porn, right? Porn will meet a certain basic itch. We all watch it sometimes. I don't take an anti-porn position.
There's a lot of itches going on. You've been talking about itching powder. It fixes an itch.
Yeah, exactly.
People are confused. Listen, that's his English he uses, folks. He's not saying anyone. But go ahead.
As you can tell from my weird Downton Abbey accent, But you know, it's interesting. I went to the first ever internet rehab center in the world. It's a place called Restart Washington.
Yeah.
It's just outside Spokane. And it's so interesting. So they get all sorts of people in this internet rehab center, but they disproportionately get young men who become obsessed either with online role-playing games or with porn. And it was so fascinating talking to these, particularly to I spoke to the young men a lot, but also Dr. Hilary Cash, who set up and runs a clinic, who's a really wise person. I remember her saying to me afterwards, she said, you know, you've got to ask, this relates to your video game thing as well. She said, you've got to ask yourself, what are these young men getting out of these games, right? Or we can think about this in relation to porn. Should they're getting something they used to get from the culture, but they no longer get? So they're getting, with the video games, a sense they're physically roaming around. We've talked about that young people don't get to do that. They get a sense they're good at something. We have a culture that does not make young men think they're good at anything, particularly a school system. But what they get is almost like a kind of parody of those things. And I started to think about it in relation to porn as well. Because in a way, I think the relationship between social media and social life is a bit like the relationship between porn and sex. I'm not anti-porn at all. But if your whole sex life consisted of just wanking over porn, you go around pretty pissed off and grouchy all the time because we didn't evolve to masturbate over screens. We evolved to actually have sex, right? No one after an hour looking at porn feels satisfied the way they do after having sex, at least if it went right.
That makes them less appealing to women. It makes women less interested in them. You can see how that's a kind of environment where porn addiction begins to develop. And I want to distinguish very clearly between someone who looks at porn every now and then and, you know, just to chill out or release some stress, and people who become addicted. That's a very different thing. Just like we all know, if we go into the nearest bar to here, most people there are going to be drinking alcohol to have a good time, and there's going to be a small minority who have an alcohol addiction problem who deserve love and compassion. So I think I would always want to, with every addiction, you always want to look at what's the context, what's the problem the person is trying to solve, what's the pain that they're in that they're trying to not be present with. So in a way, if you think about the addictive behavior as almost like the surface phenomena, you want to deal with, well, what's the deeper question here? Oh, you're lonely. 41% of Americans agree with the statement, no one knows me well, right?
Look, I'm gonna cut him off for a little minute. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a little story time of how I got addicted to it, because I don't know what all he's talking about. Cool. Listen, man, look, I was just a little kid, probably like 8, something like that. You know, I don't remember. You know, just I'm gonna say I was 8. All right, so cool. Look, so I'm hanging out with my mom's friends' kids, you know, in their room with the door open, right? Mom and her best friend, you know what I'm saying? They both go somewhere to the store or something, right? And we just there with her friend's brother, you know, and he's watching us, right? He's watching us. So and they were watching, they were watching porn, bro. Our door was open. We was playing video games, right? We playing video games. I look over in the living room and I see a white girl with 4 dingoes in her hand, man. Dinglings, just taking them all in the mouth, man. It's crazy. I was like, what the heck is this? This is something new. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nothing like that. So I was like, oh. So later down the line, you know them HBO specials they used to have, they come on at nighttime, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I clicked on one, I was like, what the crap is this? Ew, Mom, look at this. You know, then I ran in my room and I tried to find it again. And ever since then, I got interested in it, started watching it every single day. Come home, I go to school, be thinking about it, just thinking about going home and beat my meat, bro. So when people say you can't get addicted to it, bro, that's so cap, because I did, bro. I used to couldn't wait to get home, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Used to couldn't wait. Get that lotion, you know what I'm saying? Find the right video, wank off, you know? Facts, bro. Me, myself, I learned a lot of knowledge from watching it, bro. But that's the thing with a lot of people, though. They see that on the video. A lot of those scenes be fake, you know? But with me, I was able to tell the real from the fake and know what I could actually bring into the real world, you know what I'm saying?
The loneliest society in human history. One study has asked people for a good few years, how many close friends do you have who you could turn to in a crisis? And when they started doing it years ago, the most common answer was 5. Today, the most common answer is none, right? Now, a lonely society is going to be a society where people are going to find opioids more appealing. They're going to find just jerking off over Pornhub more appealing. They're going to find, you know, obsessively doing it. If you're cut off from the normal necessities of life, if your psychological needs aren't met, you're going to be more vulnerable to addiction, whether it's porn, cannabis, whatever.
There's 2 comments I want to give credit to. One of them I don't understand. The other one I think it's... one of them says... he says, David Jones is his name. Porn made my 10-year-old mind think if I did not look and perform like John Holmes, I was a failure. What a travesty, right? And Larry Medina says, my socks are pretty satisfying. I don't know what that means.
So, mysterious comment. I think there's a separate question about kids seeing porn. And I definitely think we don't want to be in a situation where, I mean, I remember, speaking about going to the woods, I remember when we were kids, I remember the first time I ever saw porn, I was 11 years old. Do you remember people used to leave porn magazines in the woods? I don't know what the fuck that was about. And I remember...
They'd like put out a little magazine every handful of meters to
was that,
lure you into their little...
Was that pedophiles? What was that about?
Yeah, that was,
I think it must have been. They must have not been...
Was there a van at the end of the...
What?
But I remember...
Don't get in the van.
I remember seeing... And what I saw was like very, very softcore. And I remember not seeing it again until I guess I found my brother's porn when I was like 14 or something. I've got an older brother. But the difference between that, you do not want, your son's 8, you don't want him in a couple of years to be discovering his first understanding of sex to be fucking gangbangs on Pornhub, right?
Man.
So I do think there's a lot to be done with regulation when it comes to children. There are some countries that have done it, so you have to opt in so you can see porn on your broadband option, which I think would embarrass a lot of people, but who cares? So that you know, there are all sorts of ways you can block these things for kids. We definitely don't want kids to be learning about sex from porn, because porn is not... the vast majority of porn is not a healthy or realistic
You tell the story about Pamela Anderson, and then the story that she had with her son.
Yeah, she sat her sons down
Yeah.
and she says, listen, you know, she says, she's saying this in an interview. She said, I would go out and say I'm meeting somebody and we end up having sex. He says many times I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That does not feel good. Hitting me here doesn't feel good. Pulling my hair, I don't like it. Yeah. Then I would ask the person whom I'm having sex with, I'd say, hey, how much porn do you watch? Are you thinking that you watch this in a video like a fetish, like it feels good for women? So she was teaching her sons, what you see in porn doesn't feel good. That's acting. And she was kind of trying, because she's saying like porn has traumatized men to think they have to perform at that level. And that's coming from Pamela Anderson, who I think's probably been with more than one man in her life. I don't know the exact number.
Listen, man, with that being said, like for real though, I don't think a lot of women understand, bro. Like that can be a very mental breaking thing for man, bro. Like they whole psyche gets messed up and they just thinking about it all the time. It gets to a point where they don't even want to, bro, but they can't help it. It's just like any other addiction, bro. Drugs, whatever, bro. It's just like any other addiction. And you think about it and you just eventually end up watching it again. Even then, when you do it, you get mad. And then you're disappointed in yourself, man. Like, dang, why do I keep doing this, bro? Like, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't get like the help that they should go get, or people don't really take it too serious. Like people just be like, bro, just stop it. Just stop doing it. It's harder than people think, man.
That was the angle kind of she was taking.
There's a really good Canadian researcher on this called Lily Boisvert, who you guys should have on as well. She's fascinating. And she talks about this where, the number of men who just wanted to choke her and slap her and just quite extreme, which is not to say there aren't some people who are consensually into those things and that's fine. But the sort of expectation of those things, which is, and she's done, I can't remember the figures because it's a few years since I interviewed her, but she's done research that exposure to porn does increase people having unrealistic expectations of sort of fetishistic behaviors, that women will just be up for that. And you
see, this is why me, my opinion, a lot of people are not gonna agree with. This is why I think porn should just be banned, bro. Like, I swear, if porn banned today, I wouldn't have no issues, bro, because it can affect a lot of people, bro. It was an interview, and like, think about it though. Think about all the people who've actually done videos before. OnlyFans, all that stuff, bro. Your kids, bro. Like, a lot of people do not have morals these days, bro. Men and women, bro. And a lot of women don't agree with that. Ain't never gonna have OnlyFans, but bro, like, you doing this and a lot of videos get leaked. A lot of videos get leaked, and you can watch them for free. Goofies. So while y'all doing all this, you know what I'm saying, having the little people pay for you, all that, people can watch this stuff online for free, bro. And that's the thing, bro. And then you doing it and you having kids, bro. And then other people around their age watching them, bro. Hey, this your mama, bro? This your daddy? Like, bro, that's weird, bro. That's gross. Like, I would not respect my mom. I would not respect my mom or my dad if they did that, bro. Real talk, bro. I would not respect my mom or dad if they did porn, bro, or OnlyFans, bro. That's just me, bro. Is that weird? People think that's weird for saying that, bro. Is that weird? It's not. It's not weird, bro. That's crazy. And then they have all these dudes thinking they can do this to women and all that, bro. Like, come on, bro. And it was an interview. It was an interview where these actors, you know what I'm saying, if you know what I mean, they were like saying like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see any problems or cons to watching what we do. It's expression, it's art, not like, bro, what? How in denial are you? So you saying there's no chance nobody can get affected by this negatively? Goofy. This is goofiness to me, bro.
Definitely don't want, you don't want your sons or indeed your daughters to be in this situation where these are the sort of that doesn't feel like a liberated and healthy form of sex, which is what we want for young adults as they start to develop. When they get to the right age, obviously, we want people to have healthy attitudes towards sex that are not based around shame. We don't, in a funny way, those feel to me more like the old attitudes. There seems to be a lot of shame in wanting to be aggressive and violent, and it feels to me like quite a conflicted attitude towards sexuality. Not for everyone. I don't want to kink shame anyone. Whatever people are into consensually.
Some people like that.
Of course, and 100% people who are into consensual behaviour, anything you want to do consensually with another adult, I'm knock yourself out, literally if you want. But I do think it's worth us thinking about the ways in which massive exposure to pornography for very young people, I do think can have a distorting effect on their sexuality that's unhealthy. Not in every case, but that's the only bit I'm worried about. Consensual adults, nothing they do worries me.
So think about that though. Think about this though. Think about what he just said though. Like whatever you want to do if you're consensual adults. Like think about it. Even if y'all both consent to it, it's and you know that which makes it you know okay to do because y'all both agree. At the same time, they don't make it okay to do whatever y'all trying to do. What if y'all want to sexually start punching each other and like he just said, y'all whatever y'all do, knock yourselves out, literally. Like why? That's the thing about it though. Like because porn has so many categories and different fetishes and all that, and everybody knows it. And a lot of fetishes are not good. Some of them can be crazy and dangerous, bro. Is that okay? What you gonna do? Just get rid of some of those, bro? Come on, bro. Like, don't act like people who love to watch it and see no problems with it at all. Y'all really gotta evaluate and sit down and think, bro. Like, it's people out here. You know what I'm saying? Luckily for me, you know, I have a very strong mentality now than I did all those years ago, and I don't have to, you know, I don't need to. First of all, I don't need to, you know, let's get that out of the way. But I don't have to sit down and watch it like all the time and all that stuff, bro. Like sometimes people be needing help, man. That's it for the video, man. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have anything to say about this video or like if you have any experiences, all that. All right, subscribe to the Ultra Squad. I'm out.